Good day. My name is Martin Schweiger and I'm a patent attorney in Singapore and also a powerlifter. Today is the 6th of February 2025. It's a Thursday. You know, I'm running this episode of videos. Oops. This episode of videos about improving health and fitness and especially losing weight, because I'm a powerlifter. I'm competing in 2 weeks from now. Plus 2 days. And I signed up for the weight class of 105 kg. So I need to lose about, I would say, 8 kg to be on the safe side from my starting weight of 110.6 kg end of January. I made good progress. And this is to update you about my third fasting cycle. In that period, weight loss period, what I mean with that is I'm constantly fasting anyway. I do intermittent fasting. It's a 16-8 window, 16 hours not eating and then 8 hours eating. Essentially, you're allowed to eat whatever you like. But I found out that best results from myself are obtained if I stay away from carbohydrates. And also I need to not overeat. So intermittent fasting and the statement that you can eat what you want and as much as you like is simply not true. So what I do now? Today I follow the subway, top, up, whatever way. This is the MRT, Mass Rapid Transport System of Singapore, and outside of the central business district and some other areas, this thing is on top. Yeah, so I follow this and then I take the train back. Yeah, I do the walk, the daily walk. I try to hope 7,000 steps, better 10,000, sometimes 25,000, whatever. So anyway, I take you with me on that walk, and I found out that I could use the time to update you on my journey, because health is a journey, is not a goal alone. So yesterday, Wednesday, the 5th of February, I didn't provide any update because my fasting journey went until 7 p.m. and after that I really needed energy because I was really exhausted, and I need to explain to you why, and I also what I found out. with my measurement instruments that I have the many. Actually not so many, but a few very important ones. So my fasting on top of the intermittent fasting is Tuesday, 24 hours water fasting days. That includes the 8 hours, the first 8 hours of Tuesday from midnight until I wake up, because I don't drink when I sleep. Water, I mean, then allowed window of drinking water is after waking up until midnight. So I drink water, unsweetened tea, unsweetened coffee, and all that without milk. I take some supplements that I can swallow as pills, or if there's a powder, then I would only take those supplements that don't have calories, and I prepare a smoothie with the seeds of cucumbers, and I keep the cucumbers for the next day, which is today. I cut them in pieces and eat them then with salt and vinegar, and that's for the long fiber supply. The peels of the cucumbers will then act as a fiber source of long fibers, which is important. You need to have the long fibers and the short fibers because they interact when they're in the gut. So don't put your cucumbers, the unpeeled ones, because there's also a lot of good stuff in the peel, in the skin. Don't put them into your smoothie. Eat the pieces one by one. So that was Tuesday, water fasting. Actually it's water, coffee, tea, and cucumber juice plus supplement powder day. When I go to bed on Tuesday, I don't eat and drink anymore until I reach a certain number of hours on Wednesday. And I also set myself a goal for the body weight. I would only break fast once I have reached that goal. In my case, you know, I'm always trying to lose 4 kg weight in one fasting cycle, Tuesday and Wednesday. But yesterday this was impossible. Wednesday morning, very funny. So they put glue on this track. Look, and you can hear. Yeah, you can hear that. That's already calling me. Very funny. This is very sticky. Primer.
Yeah.
Primer for what?
It's on bicycle road.
Bicycle road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now painting.
Sorry for stepping on it. Okay. Yeah, so I remember that from Tuesday morning to Wednesday morning, I lost about 1 kg by the dry fasting, which is less than the weeks before. And then I didn't lose much the entire Wednesday. I remember I had a very long nap on Wednesday, yesterday, and during that nap I almost lost 3 hours nap because I didn't sleep during that night much. So I only lost maybe 200 grams, 300. So I have the suspicion that my body adapts to the fasting. I believe I lose less weight now by fasting than the weeks before. And that is a concern, reason for concern. So after the nap period yesterday, Wednesday, I did some work, and I started a walk at 6:30 because I had something like 104.6 kg, which means 2 kg less as compared when I started on Tuesday morning at 5:30 p.m. Wednesday. And my goal was to bring my body weight down to 104 kg. So at the end of my 2 fasting days, the dry fasting day on Wednesday. And I made it by walking for 1 hour. I brought the body weight down to 103.8 kg. But what I need to tell you is this time was really tough. I put on the glucose meter, and what I can tell you is that my blood sugar, which was quite low already when I started the dry fasting day, I was at 4.9 or so, 4.9 blood sugar. And blood sugar went up and down over the dry fasting day, Wednesday. But when I did that walk, my blood sugar fell down to 4.0. And it became really tough, the walking. I really felt depleted in energy, and I just made it to the restaurant where I broke my fast. And breaking fast for me after a water fasting day and a dry fasting day is always filling up my amino acids in order to prevent my body from eating into my muscles. Because at the end of such a tough dry fasting day, I will be in autophagy, necessarily. Autophagy means that all the body cells have to account for the usefulness to the whole of the body. And those cells that are less useful are eaten up. I know what some of you now may think. How would the body cells communicate? They do. I mean, I'm an engineer, right? I'm on thin ice. I'm not a biologist. But I can read scientific articles in the area of biology and books. And there are also two ways to look at cells or agglomeration of cells as the human body, as we are. And one way of looking at it is that the cells communicate and they adapt to outer influences. And there is evolution, both within what is given at birth by a set of genes, and also there's evolution as a reaction to the environment. And that's a short time evolution. But when you say evolution, it means always that the outcome is good. Well, I would rather word it in a neutral way. If you bring your body into a state that is not optimal, like as we are set up by birth, then the body cells would try to react to that body state. Oh, my camera's, the rotor switched off. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Now I need to cross the road. There are so-called overhead bridges in Singapore, and you want to cross the road, then you need to climb up the overhead bridge here, this one, and then go there. I will show you. I haven't seen that in other places. It's very characteristic for Singapore. Perfect place also for law enforcement. They use those bridges to measure the speed of oncoming vehicles. So, I believe, cancer plays a role in my talks, right? For two reasons. Number one, "20 years ago, I got a positive tumor marker measurement. So that brings the subject matter cancer into your life. I still didn't develop a cancer, or I had a surgery or symptoms or whatever. So, yeah. Hello. Friendly people in Singapore. Second reason, when I was diagnosed with a metabolic disorder, I went to heal that one without pharmaceuticals, just by changing my lifestyle, and part of that is changing my food intake. And then automatically there's an overlapping region when it comes to cancer treatments that see cancer as a metabolic disorder. Again, there are other two views. Cancer as a genetic disease or a metabolic disorder. I think that the metabolic disorder theorists have the better arguments and the more concise theories.
I've always believed in it, and it was down.
So, now you know it. This is the end of my third water fasting, dry fasting circle, the day after, in that project, how to lose 8 kg, starting from 110.6 kg. And I made it down to 104 kg after 2 weeks or so. Of course, since yesterday I gained some weight, and I will not measure my body weight again until next Tuesday morning. I just stick to my plan, daily walking, stay away from carbs. Oh, by the way, and it's not true, stay away from carbs and alcohol better. And I will not stay away from carbs and alcohol tomorrow evening, because then is a German evening in Singapore. The German businessmen are meeting for beer and sausages and pretzel, and I will be part of that. But the difference this time is, from the last month, German evening, and today, this time I have a continuous blood glucose meter on me, and I will measure that. I have an intermediate experience of last week when I put the blood glucose meter, or was it the week before? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So last week I tried out this alcohol-free wine and also a beer, and that brought up my blood glucose. That was on a Thursday, and that brought up my blood glucose level over the entire weekend to something that is not good. I only went down to normal blood glucose levels during my water fasting day. And on Monday night I had a tough strength training. So it became normal after that. I believe that every time, if you're on the same journey as me, getting your metabolism under control for whatever reason, is it weight loss? Is it because you are diagnosed with diabetes 2? Is it because your liver values are bad, your thyroid values are bad, your lipid panel is bad? The same, or you have cancer. The same thing applies. You need to get your metabolism in order. And the two main things are, yesterday I identified 7 of them. Let me try to find out whether it's true. So number 1, stay away from carbohydrates. Number 2, exercise heavy. Number 3, fasting. Number 4, walking. So before the exercise, I mean strength training. Number 4 would be walking as a cardio exercise. And walking is much better than running for several reasons. Number 5 would be get a continuous blood glucose meter. And 6 and 7 I need to look up in the earlier videos. But these are basic. So after a night of alcohol, don't do alcohol. After a night of drinking alcohol and eating carbohydrates, the best would be for the next day, get the fasting day, at least water fasting, not necessarily dry fasting. And second thing, exercise. That would bring you again in ketonic mode, which is an important feature. Yeah, so that's the end of my third fasting cycle in a month of losing 8 kg weight. And the losing weight means that I qualify for the 105 kg weight class in the Singapore Nationals on 22nd of February, which is 16 days away. So I have achieved that, but I'm not in that weight class in a stable way, which would mean that even if I have a cheat day, I would still be lighter than 105 kg. But I will keep you updated. I'm halfway through my days that I have available, and I believe I've made good use of them. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.